Having screams and funs because of sports. Oh, I can hear the sizzle, the sizzling, the sizzle, whizzle, whizzle, bizzle, the jizzle.
I lost your intro. I'll do it on the fly. This is Sizzle, powered by Fit to Be Trained, coming to you from the Deep End Broadcasting Studios here in the lovely Virginia Beach, Virginia, in the United States of America. Want to be part of the 30-day or 60-day transformation? Contact Karen, aka Sizzle, on any of her social media platforms. Here's your host of Sizzle, Karen Dougherty.
Just gonna let it cheer me on for a little bit. I must need to hear it today because I always rush through. Like if we have a guest,
a 13-second cheer every time.
Yay! 13 seconds. 13 is my lucky number. Or I just like that number. I don't know if I have a lucky number. I've never won anything or gained anything from the number 13, but I do like it. It's kind of a rebellious number, you know?
Yep.
Guess what, Steve? It's our year anniversary.
Yay!
Yay! I think that's really cool. And I've asked ChatGPT and Copilot if it's good, we've have down like certain amount of downloads, how many downloads we have for how many episodes we've done. And I always get cheered on by the robots. ChatGPT, Copilot all says that we're doing good, that a lot of people don't make it past 6 episodes. And we have had.
Well, you don't make it about you. You make it about the people out there.
Right.
Which is what I think, because every podcast that I've seen where people just kind of make it about themselves, that never works because no one cares about that.
That's right.
At least a couple of fitness influencers I've seen.
Oh, okay.
I mean, everything I do is news related the way I see it.
Right.
So I'm just kind of doing news and
news,
kind of giving
sports.
my take on some things a little bit. And I try to teach and enlighten. So those are the qualities I think I bring to my programming. But you are about the people themselves, a lady of the people, and you get their stories across, which are interesting. And like the girl said the last week, she was thrilled. Like she gets to tell all her friends in Romania now that she's been on a program in the United States of America on the Sizzle show. Now these people are all looking you up like, I mean, who is this? Johnny Carson over here?
That would be great. I love Johnny Carson, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's bring back some good memories. But anytime that I can inspire someone, yes, she gave me the most beautiful note or wrote me the most beautiful note later that day. And we're talking about Rebecca. Rebecca was on last week and she's from Romania. And she came on to talk about her, her journey in fitness. And she said that it was a little bit scary to come on and it took a little bit of courage. She's a young girl and she said she was so grateful that she did it and thanked us both so much for giving her that opportunity. And whenever you're living outside of your comfort zone, that's when you're really growing. And I love that saying because it's true. And every time that I do something that's uncomfortable, that I usually gain something from it.
And I know, you've been kind of catering towards, experienced fitness industry people.
Yes.
But maybe this is all the more reason to go get some young people out there.
I really appreciate you saying that.
Because that gives them a start of something that they've never had, Exactly. And we take that for granted a little bit.
Yes. I thought of that later in the day. I thought, wow, God is good. And I thought, wow, he brought that was just such a spur of the moment thing. And I wasn't sure how old Rebecca was. And Rebecca's 28 years old, but we knew early on in the podcast that she was young in her career, because I said, how did you get into this? And she said, during the pandemic. So it was really cool how, yes, we have some more seasoned trainers on here. And it was great hearing a younger person's point of view. And I like talking to young trainers because they get out of college later than us. They learn things different than us. I've noticed lots of things that some of the learning is better,
Well, the joke is for people our age that it's easy to dismiss the younger crowd because they're like idiots, they're stupid, and like the whole 6-7 thing that's going on with like even the younger kids. Some people are like, what the hell is this? And no hope for the future. But if you look at it,
I didn't know that.
You don't think that's the general perception to people who are older about the younger generation? I completely do. Every comment I see, whenever someone who's younger just does something stupid, and then maybe that's just social media,
right?
But I thought there's, in a lot of ways, little faith in the younger generation. But I'm actually that's my perspective of everybody else.
No,
that's not mine.
That was clear.
Now
that was clear.
Now I think it's completely like these kids don't drink. Drinking is down like a lot from when me and you were kids.
Oh, you're saying the younger generation?
Yeah.
They're a little more serious than us. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they are.
Now
they might be playing in their phones and their computers, and that that's part of their perceived downfall at the end of the day is you can't get them out of staring at a telephone, so they're almost robotic in a way at times. But for the most part, not out there causing much trouble, I don't think.
Yeah, it's a sign of the times, and it's great to hear something positive
and taking politics seriously and stuff like that.
I think it's always been like that. If you think about that, like the older generation has always poo-pooed the one after it, like, oh, our music and blah blah blah. We went through it. We went through it with the older generation,
you're right.
And so like I agree with you. There's a lot of positive about this next generation coming in. Are they different? Absolutely. But what was so cool about last week with Rebecca and even back was how much there were so many things that were alike, that we really agreed upon. And I loved that. We were oceans apart and we were 30 years different in age. And there were so many things that we just basically agreed on. And then like we learn new things from the youth, from the younger people for sure. Cause like I said, they get out of college later than we did, so they're learning. The medical industry has improved. I do agree. I think they're a little more serious than us. They don't party as much as we were partying. Fools. I mean, we were idiots if you think about it. Our generation was whoa. And maybe it's not any different. Maybe they are too, but I don't see it. I think you're right that I don't see I see them as a little bit more serious, we should almost say. And robotics and tech is really serious. My thing with them is their posture. Here we're going down a whole different rabbit hole, but I worry about them. Like we were worried, God, drunk driving was our stuff. Their posture because they're always on their computers or on their phones and stuff like that. But it was, I loved how you said that about like you usually get a more seasoned group, and I do. And I really thought later in the day last week, I was like, wow, that was cool. I'm glad that we had a nice younger person on for a different perspective. And you're right, to build their courage, the stuff that we take for granted sometimes because we are masters at our trade. It's easy for us to talk about it and give them a little boost because we are passing the baton down. Let's face it. And you're right. Sometimes people talk about the younger generation, they'll say things about them and then not teach them. Like if you have a complaint about them, then maybe show them your way. I always thought of that when I was bringing Ian up, because I was older when I had him. So I was a later parent. And I thought, we get on kids and then not show them the correct way. Like you have to teach your child, and you have to teach I have to show younger trainers, because obviously being out in the field, no matter what career you choose, you can sit at the books and go to college all you want, and then everything when you get out in the field is a whole different career sometimes, like even drafting, something that was so technical, they taught us how to do it, and then I get out in the field and get with different engineering and architectural firms and be like, felt like I had never drafted before in my life, so but I love that. And Rebecca was our last guest. That was last week. And I might have a guest on next week or the week after. I can only hope. If we're even doing our podcast, this is a good time to talk about this. Next week not next week, but the week after is Christmas Eve and then New Year's Eve. And we can fly by the seat of our pants if you want, but I'm not leaving town, so I can do it if you're up for it. And you don't even have to answer now, Steve, but that's just, I'm not sure that I'll have guests anymore, but I might. You never know.
We should be able to do something on the fly, I think.
Yeah, like I'm game if you are. So listeners, we might be on all the way through the holidays. I don't know, but guess what? This is our year anniversary. So the first podcast that we ever did was on December 11th last year, and that is tomorrow. So what I wanted to do, you can do that cheer thing. I know, I'm really happy about it. I'm so grateful to you, Steve, because this was nice. Like you did this out of the kindness of your heart, and everybody that knows you knows how kind you are. And now I'm saying it on national YouTube America. Yeah. I'm so glad it came at a great time. Yeah, that's what we want to do. Eventually, let's get some revenue. But right now, it's just plain fun and sitting around and talking about health and wellness.
Anybody
fun.
out there can sponsor the show. Just contact me through the YouTube.
Yeah, bring it. But what I did today was get up with my guests from the last year and thank them for being on this show and calling them the original gangsters, because that's what they are. They're our OGs, and they have an open floor, an open mic. Anytime they want to come on the show, they're welcome. And I said that to them, you have something that you want to get off the ground or get off your chest. This is where you want to come. And so I think they're probably all grateful for that. I got responses from most of them. Some of them are really, really busy. So I get it, because I'm a trainer too. So I know what your life is like, and it's the holidays. And because I'm a business, sometimes my emails get stuck in the spam box. So I hope, but the gals that got the email responded. I thanked them, and then I asked them a few questions, and they were simple questions. In fact, let me look it up if it's not oh, darn. I don't want too much airtime here. But
I got a cricket sound I can play.
I know. I really wanted to find my email, and it's not hard to find. Duh. Well, let me get I know, I feel so dumb. It's getting worse too. I can't find it. And when I couldn't find theirs.
So what are you looking for?
Well, I'm looking for an email I sent the gals that were our guests.
Yeah.
And I can say it out of my memory. I basically asked them, what was their takeaway from 2025 fitness wise?
Yeah, well, all right, that's good.
And then are they thinking of anything for 2026? And I gave them an open invitation, obviously, for our show. And most of them were like, yeah, they would love to come back on. So I see that as like, if you get a second date, you take a person out on the first date,
Right.
and that's when they're deciding, and then they give you a chance and come on the second, and so, some of these gals are like, yeah, I had a really good time. So that makes me feel good. They feel safe, they feel comfortable, they feel like they can speak their mind on this show, and that makes me feel good. So I got a really positive response. So I'm going to start naming the gals and do a brief reminder of what she's at. But you can always find our show. The Sizzling Show is on Spotify. It's on Apple and YouTube. And I think that pretty much covers it. And anybody should be able to get it from one of those. And it goes all the way back to last year. I started uploading the recordings, I think in March is the first, but there is a recording of the very first show.
And the YouTube should have it all the way through.
And yeah, YouTube on Steve's channel is Deep End Broadcasting. I'm Fit to be Trained, which you guys know, but Deep End Broadcasting for sure. And you want to check out Steve's channel anyway. He has other things too. So here we are at our year marker. So it sounds like we're just going to do like a little recap, right? That's exactly
year in review, as they say.
Yeah. So I sent out to my guests, and the first gal I have listed here is Karen Edge. And Karen Edge was way back in the beginning because she was nutrition. She's my nutrition girl. Like if I have questions about anything food wise, I go to her, and it's just been like that for years. And I actually have met other nutritionists since then, but Karen's just always been my girl for that kind of stuff. So obviously I got her on the podcast, and she came on pretty, back in the beginning of the year. And this is what she wrote. She wrote, "Congratulations. Wow, 1 year is very impressive." And she wrote, "You are quite the go-getter." Yes, thank you. And I won't bore you with that, with all of these. But what she did write was, "I'm inspired by the fact that I'll be 75 in February, and I'm still a badass. My bones are holding up. Muscles are but hanging in there. And I keep working at staying strong. Newest concept: women are not small men. Dealing with menopause and declining muscle mass involves some changes in both the gym and the kitchen. I'm currently reading Dr. Stacy Sims' book, Next Level, all about this concept. I'll repeat that. I'm currently reading Dr. Stacy Sims' book, Next Level. And it's about the concept of how we have to change things everywhere. I'm doing rebounding. Oh, this is interesting. I'm doing rebounding to build bones and cardio. Exhausting, but so fun. Karen Edge. Rebounding, y'all, is when you're on one of those little trampolines and bouncing around. And Karen Edge is a great dancer. She's probably having fun. Lessons: slow down and enjoy the view. The next supermoon is 2047. That's 17 years away. I probably won't be here, so I'm looking up a lot more. And I purposely stayed quiet for that because I wanted you to hear that. Slow down and enjoy the view. So it really matters to take a moment and smell the flowers. Stop and smell the roses. Yes, do it. Do it, everyone. That's great. So that was Karen Edge. She put, Merry Christmas, my beautiful friend. Love you, Karen Edge. Love, love, love you. And thank you so much. That was great, great feedback. So that's the kind of stuff that I got from these girls. Sheridan, remember Sheridan? Sheridan was the blood type diet. Remember, Steve?
Yep, we had her a couple times.
This is what's inspiring you in your fitness wellness journey these days. Okay. So this was Sheridan's answer. I was really hard on my body as a young woman, being a gymnast and a fitness competitor with an addictive personality. I spent hours upon hours in the gym, dieting and practicing my fitness routines. I had several injuries that forced me to need a total hip replacement by the time I was 50. All of this inspires me to be kind to my body, to appreciate all the work I put in, to put healthy food in my body, to avoid anything toxic, to love my body as it is, to exercise with care, to avoid injuries. I had body dysmorphia for a long time, she says. I put a lot of thought into what others thought of me. Now I am completely happy and accepting of where I'm at physically, mentally, and spiritually. I want to continue that into my future. Oh, I love her.
Oh,
I know. I love her. I know these girls, my heart. Any new routines, habits, or lessons learned that you'd love to share? And Sheridan wrote, the biggest stumbling block for me personally as a health-minded person was alcohol. I spent quite a few years drinking rum and cokes. I went from that to beer and finally, by the grace of God, removed alcohol from my life completely. Alcohol didn't make me stronger, prettier, smarter, more rich. It gave me no benefits. Waking up sober tastes better than any drink that is ever offered. I was numbing. It was a numbing agent for emotional hurts that I hadn't dealt with. Oh, this is so meaningful. Wow. I learned to love myself, forgive the past, and move into God's purpose for my life. Drinking more water, dealing with hurts immediately, and participating in healthy activities has created a new life with new habits. It was a hard lesson to get through, but I'm a better person for it. Yay! That is fantastic. I just can't believe it. Wow, I'm so glad I sent this email out. Okay. What is next for 2026? My plans for 2026 are to keep growing in my faith, enjoy my loving, happy marriage, no longer needing the approval of others. Oh boy, do I agree with that. I've aged out of that finally, Sherry. I'm with you. To cultivate a peaceful life and to be a role model for my daughter. I plan to continue to push weight, put on muscle, maybe a bodybuilding show to cap it all off. Ooh, 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 ooh. You shouldn't have told me that, girl. I'm letting the Lord lead my life, which I know will be greater than anything I could plan on my own. Ain't that the truth? I could just hug her right through the mic. That's fantastic. Oh, wow. Okie dokie. All right. So moving on, we've got Alexis Heaslip. And I got to thank all of you, everybody that's listening, everybody that's going to listen later, everybody that's participating in this. Oh my God, I can't thank you enough. Okay, so Alexis Heaslip. I love this girl too. So what's been inspiring her? All right, I'm just going to read like she wrote to me. So what's been inspiring me in my fitness wellness journey at the moment has been a variety of different things. One is my husband, who's been kicking butt with his running schedule. Although I don't run, he inspires me to move often and daily. Also, we have been making choices together to make and eat high protein meals and eat good whole foods. One habit I've added this year is adding lemon to my water. Alexis, yes, ma'am. And she's the one that got me adding lemon to my water again. Y'all, there's nothing more simple than putting lemon in your water, and the benefits are unending. ending. I highly recommend it.
Really? What?
Oh
Like what?
my
What do they do?
goodness. Okay. First of all, it cleans you. It's like a cleaner. It'll make it, it also has like natural electrolytes, do I want
Oh,
to say?
interesting. Okay.
Where so it's very hydrating is the word I'm trying to come up with. Put a little bit of pink salt in there, the Himalayan salt in your drink with lemon. Oh my goodness. That's a whole different subject, but lemon water and your skin, and I really do feel like it cleans your system, like from the mouth all the way through. It's because of the citrus,
Right.
it's good for so many things. But I'll keep moving on with my pal Alexis. Now, let me remind you who Alexis is too. She did faith, family, and fitness. I think that might even be the title. And then she did postpartum depression, which is a very important subject. Very good podcast. So let me go back to her stuff. They are making good choices in the kitchen together. This is her and her husband. They have 2 kids. Don't get me wrong, but I like how they're taking their kitchen back. You wouldn't even know they had children by this. One habit I've added this year is adding lemon to my water. It's really refreshing and hydrating. What's next for 2026? I'm about to start a homeschooling journey with my children, which is exciting and I'm very nervous about. Boom. That's it. Her kids must have called, because that's what's going on with Alexis. And I get to see Alexis. She's a client of mine. She does Pilates twice a week. I am proud to say she really is good with her. That is, I hate to speak for her, but I kind of can. I know her very, very well. We're very close. And she loves Pilates reformer. In fact, I've always wanted her to become a Pilates reformer trainer. She could. She's a good teacher, but now she's going on a fitness a journey with the kids at home. But I know that Pilates is her favorite. She does very well in other forms of fitness. I always wanted to bring her to CrossFit because I knew that she would be able to lift very heavy weight. And but that's not her thing. She's a dance girl, and it's just really cute how people like what they like, and you're good at what you're good at. Like I'm not very good at Zumba. And I liked it. I went to a few lessons. I liked it, but I'm not good at it. So did I stay there? No. I went to it because I wanted to be able to tell my clients, especially when it first came out, what Zumba. So I have the privilege as a fitness trainer to go and find out what all these new exercises are, and new forms and new trends. It's fun for me, but I don't get to stay in a lot of them like Zumba was. So, but I have a lot of girls that are dance backgrounds, which Pilates draws in that dance background a lot. And they're not always into, CrossFit or heavyweight lifting or bodybuilding. And so I have to find stuff for them that will keep them exercising. My job is to keep them moving. Kasha is next. Remember Kasha? She was my bodybuilding coach.
Yep.
She wrote, "Congratulations, you rock. Thank you for allowing me to be interviewed." Boom, that's it. I even wrote her back. I was like, please, one little morsel. But people are busy right now, and I know how much how supportive of a person she is. So I just love that. And she got back to me right away. So I love her for even getting back to me, coming on the show. I hope I get to see her in 2026. I can't believe we're almost done with 2025.
It's unbelievable.
Isn't it? It's like we blinked.
Christmas is not even a thought in my mind at the moment.
Steve, it's 2 weeks away.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can you believe it? I know. It was a, it was a, it was a rough year. Ian got hurt. He got that, so, but he's better now, but he has more surgeries to go. And I won't get into that. It's not even my business to tell. He's a grown man now, but, that was, something, but all in all, it was a good year. It was a growing year. For my business, like this podcast was an addition, stepping out of my comfort zone, like we just talked about. I was uncomfortable at first, and now it's like riding a bike. But business was, I was learning a lot of things. So this year I get to implement, which will be fun. And my phone just lit up, and it's a 111. It's not 1111, which is a really special number, but 111 is good. And so that came up right when I was saying business is good. And I think I get to implement I will get to implement a lot of what I've learned in 2025, which will be very enjoyable in 2026. I hope it's successful. And a lot of that is going towards more the virtual side. My side, my side job was trying to get a virtual training business off the ground, and my little side hustle, like people say. And my one-on-one I do in Pilates reformer and fitness jobs, I do live and in person, and I love them, but I was really trying to get little side hustle going. So when I say I'll get to implement more things, I will in 2026, because I was really getting used to all the new tech stuff that we have in our world. And every time you learn something, then something new comes along. It's really fun if you don't let it overwhelm you. I really enjoy learning now we got Chat GPT. It's like, oh my God, my son always says, now this is the young generation talking, because they're so smart, they really are. But my son's like, enjoy it. Like anything this great has gotta, not to be negative, but you're like anything, everything ebbs and flows. I can't say the exact words that he used because we're not allowed to, but you know what I'm saying, enjoy it now. Hopefully it doesn't turn against us in any way. There's movies about robots. But anyway, let's move on. Tammy Saunders was our CrossFit girl, and she was the barbell saves in Arizona. And I say was because now she's in Iowa. And she did the Barbell Saves Project for many, many years, and now opened a CrossFit gym with her brother in Iowa. So she is an original Midwestern girl, and she was on the podcast 3 times, I'm pretty sure. 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure. And Tammy is a joy, and she said she would love to come back on. So we'll probably have her on in January, because I'm going to start trying to fill more spots with the guest list here. I'm dying to hear how it's going for her in Iowa. But this is what she wrote to us. I think the biggest takeaway from last year and moving into 2026 is that life is always going to be lifing. Nothing will work out, good or bad, exactly as you think it will. The best laid plans, but what has been confirmed for me is that I still can absolutely do the hard, scary shit. Change is scary. It's hard. It's not guaranteed. And that is where the magic happens. And I am here for it. Shredding the old, stepping into the new, unapologetically. Oh, that's like my favorite word right now. I can't wait to chat with you soon, my friend. Tammy Saunders, head coach, owner of CrossFit Dubuque. That's in Iowa. I know. Level 3 certified CrossFit, trauma informed weightlifting certified, trauma informed weightlifting certified. That probably has to do with her recovery piece. So, Tammy, I work with people in recovery from addiction, from alcohol and drugs. So, Tammy ran this CrossFit gym in Arizona, and she was like a manager of that. She didn't come up with the concept, but her hands were in deep with this gym. And so I was lucky enough to, and Steve, you're the one who said to me, you've got to follow this girl. And I'm so glad that you did, because I even make it out to the Midwest here and there. So I might actually get to see Tammy Saunders in real life in person someday. But if it wasn't for you, Steve, I wouldn't even.
Well, we actually have some CrossFit Games stuff coming up right after the new year.
I don't know.
And that when they do the
Oh yeah,
the
we
workouts?
start. Yeah. And Tammy will be in it. I love what she wrote. I love that. You can absolutely do hard, scary stuff. You can. All of us can. And she, moving across country is no easy task. Oh my goodness. God. All right. Love you, Tammy. Love all these girls. Great. I can't wait. So we'll catch up with her. And I like how she wrote unapologetically. That's like my favorite word nowadays, because I'm hitting 60 in 2026. Super excited about it. I guess you probably have to hear it because I probably say it a lot. But I'm so happy that I made it. I'm 59 now, but 2026 is my year. And, my kid's grown. I get to kind of rebirth, I get to be myself again. Who am I? From before I had Ian, I had a really exciting life. And then I had the excitement of having a boy. I loved being a boy mom. And now he's adulting. And so now it's time to move on. So it's exciting. Okay, let's move on. Stephanie Rothkar. Stephanie Rothkar is our peptide gal. I always think of her as that, but she also is a bodybuilding champion. There's a lot of things that are on Stephanie Rothkar's resume. She's quite the gal. She was on with us a couple times, and she writes, I am taking my fitness app on the road for 2026. Stephanie Rothkar is she's ahead of me. She's really good at this virtual fitness, and she is my girl that I aspire to be. I don't know how else to verbalize it. Like her stuff, all the way to like her Instagram. Like I follow her. I would follow her if I were you. I think I'm a top fan. I even have like a badge for Facebook. She gives out a ton of really good information. She is so into fitness and super authentic, and I'm really into fitness and super authentic too. And Stephanie is the real deal, and she's a step ahead of me for sure. I gotta say that, and I'm proud to say that, because I'm really into my craft, and this girl's good. So this is what she wrote. I'm taking my fitness app on the road for 2026 with cities across some states. Excited to see how this goes. So I'm not really sure what that means. She does have a fitness app and taking it on the road. I don't really know. We'll have to have her on and have her tell us. I also will be getting more peptides for gut health, as that is my specialty and what so many people struggle with due to what is in our foods now. So yeah, I would assume like nutritionists are busy and people that are dealing with gut health and that kind of stuff, because yeah, our food is challenging, isn't it? We have a lot of challenges here in the United States. A lot of additives and a lot of preservatives and stuff like that you kind of have to fight against. And I think Stephanie's peptides and all the science with the peptides, she's so knowledgeable about that. So if you guys ever need anything in that department, I got your girl for you. Stephanie Rothkar. Fit for 5 is her business name, and that's what you'll find her. She's like me, where everything's Fit for 5, or I'm fit to be trained, and it's just, you can find everything for her. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I'm sure she's on everything. Merry Christmas and love you, Karen. Yay, I love you too, Steph. And she said she's so proud of us and our podcast endeavor. So she is just such a light. She's just a positive person. Okay, moving on. Emily Arnold. What a sweet. Now, Emily moved all the way to California from here. She was a local girl here in Virginia, CrossFit coach here at the gym that I go to take over. And I was there this morning. But I've been slacking off on my gym visits. I have to be honest. I say how authentic I am, and it's been cold. And I've been working a lot at 6 a.m. That's when I like to go to the gym. So a lot of times it really is a conflict, but there's sometimes that it's not a conflict and I'm not there. But today, one of my clients was traveling. She's in Budapest. And so I got to go to the gym today. And before we go on to Emily Arnold, I want to say, because I just said Budapest, Rebecca, the girl that we had on last week, is in Budapest as well. And she is on, because she said, I need to come on the podcast early in December because I'm going to be doing an international vacation or something. So if you follow her, Rebecca Black or Rebecca.blk on Instagram, she is doing a wellness retreat of some sort. I follow her and she's in Budapest right now in Hungary. So it's kind of cool, just saying. But now let's weave right back. Now we're with Emily Arnold. Emily Arnold came on as a CrossFit coach, just talking about fitness and stuff like that. And let me backtrack. Tammy Saunders is a CrossFit coach too, but we had her on originally for the Barbell Saves Project. Then we had her on as a CrossFit coach and a games participant. Tammy Saunders was in the CrossFit Games. We have Emily Arnold. We have a lot of CrossFitters. Emily Arnold which just reminds me, our girl from the Netherlands. Remember? Oh, Marsha. I didn't reach out to Marsha, and I love Marsha because we had a lot of CrossFit participants on. I got to get with my pal Marsha. I can't believe I went through all the podcasts on my Kajabi, and somehow I missed Marsha's. So I will be reaching out to her. I adore her. That was our first international podcast, right? So we've had 2 internationals. We've had Marsha, and Marsha's in the Netherlands. And then we had Rebecca, and Rebecca was Romania. Duh. my brain.
Not far though. Close.
My brain, I know.
Ukraine is on the border.
Right. Okay, so back to Emily Arnold. Emily, what's inspiring you in your fitness and wellness journey these days? And she wrote, right now, just wanting to stay connected and consistent and injury-free is where I'm at. So that's a good place to be, my friend Emily. She wants to stay connected, consistent, and injury-free. That is breaking it down to the bare bones. And that's true, because what is the most important thing in fitness? Consistency. Definitely. And getting connected. I'm sure she said that because I remind you, she made a move. She made a big move. So she's probably means she's getting connected to a new gym and new friends in California. So any new routines, habits, or lessons learned you'd love to share? And she wrote, nothing new so far. She's a pretty active CrossFitter. And you and I both know, Steve, CrossFit incorporates quite a bit of stuff. You've got weight training, you've got endurance, you've got agility, you've got everything, barbell, Olympic weightlifting. So, yeah, she's staying pretty busy just with that, with CrossFit in her back pocket. In 2026, I'd love to be injury free. She's brought that up a couple times. I wonder if our friend is injured. I'd love to be injury free and maybe start coaching. She wants to start coaching in California. So that would make sense. But she did mention injury a couple times, didn't she?
Yeah, well, I get hurt all the time, so I feel her pain.
Mm-hmm. I have been doing a lot of mobility. I won't get on my soapbox, but I'm telling you, I haven't been in pain. Oh, I think that now I've got one more. I've got Jamie Rhodes. I saw Jamie Rhodes at the gym this morning. So I got Jamie. I didn't get to print her out. So let me look on here. Oh my goodness. Here it is. Old lady with a phone. I would have had it ready, but I was snooping in it earlier. Okay, here's Jamie. Now, Jamie, let me remind you, works at what am I trying to think? J&A Racing.
Yeah, the racing.
She works at J&A Racing, and J&A Racing is, it sounds like hot rods and stuff. The hot rods are people. They're in charge of a lot of the marathons, if not a lot of the marathons, all of them basically around town, and they're famous for the Shamrock Marathon here in Virginia Beach, which is almost, I would say, international at this point. I mean, it's definitely state, people come from all over the United States to do the Shamrock, but I wouldn't even be surprised if people came internationally. God, when I say that, I can't believe I missed Marsha. I knew I was missing. I'm missing a few. I'm missing Marsha, Lior. I can't think of them offhand, but I will get to them, people. I promise. But let's hear what Jamie Rhodes had to say. She's inspired to run right now. What a shock. Jamie is an avid runner. I like the solitude and repetitive movement that can become mesmerizing and quiet. It's good for my mental health. My takeaway from 2025, even though I can hit the weights, speed or volume I once could, I can still improve. Oh, I'm sorry. Even though I can't hit the weights, speed or volume I once could, I can still improve. Instead of feeling defeated, find a new challenge that pushes me in a different way. Warm-ups are so important to staying injury-free. Now to add post-workout routines. So that sounds to me like that's something that she wants to start incorporating, more mobility and even the post-workout, which is, important. It really is. There was a time, remember when stretching was something that we did before exercise? Like I used to teach aerobics back in the 80s, right? So you would make your class, the whole thing would be prepared, and you'd have your little tapes, you'd make your little mixtapes, they call them now, but everything was hand done. And so the class would be 5 minutes of warm-up exercises, 5 to 10, and then at the end would be cool down and stretching. So that was always incorporated in all of the exercise, in all of our exercise sessions back in the day. And if you think about it, through the years, the warm-up is still going. We still warm up. But the cool down has really been something that people have let go of. Because why? Because of time. Everybody's trying to get more time, or, we're very, very busy, and it's a shame because the cool down is important. Your muscles are nice and warm. That's a great time for you to stretch, way more efficient than even in the beginning when your muscles aren't as warm. So they're nice and pliable at the cool down point of your workout. And it's good to bring the heart rate down, nice and slow. And I think a lot of it is with cortisol too. Cortisol is a hormone that it's a stress hormone. So I think it's possible, I don't know, but scientifically, like if that cool down might bring closure to a workout where you come out of that flight or fight or any kind of cortisol driven state that our bodies might get into during a workout, right? Walking lunges are not fun. They put you into a state of uncomfortability, right? So I don't know how that works scientifically. That's something to look into, but letting go of the cool down might be the dumbest thing that we ever did as a culture, as an exercise culture, just because of that reason alone. But I don't know. I can't back that up scientifically, but it's just a thought. I feel like I went through these so quickly, but I want to remember. I mean, I'm not making sense. I went through these so quickly. I'm afraid I forgot somebody.
Did you mention Caroline?
I didn't get, let me make sure that I've got my latest and greatest. But thank you I did reach out to Caroline. There were some that just I couldn't get in time. And let me, in their defense, I didn't send it out till Saturday afternoon. Okay. So it's not like I've been really diligent with this. So I am not having any ill feelings and Nicole, remember Nicole Greco-Pepis from New Jersey?
Yeah.
I reached out to her, and I think what happened is when I sent these emails on Saturday, it went into spam because a lot of them had to look for it. And then it went into spam. And if I didn't reach you, like they didn't know what I was asking for, because Nicole got right back to me when I emailed her, and she's like, "What do you need, babe? I got you." So, I mean, I have no ill feelings towards anyone if they didn't get their info back, because I'm thinking they didn't get it. Caroline is one of them. Who else am I missing? Caroline, Nicole, and Leor. I think just 3. And Marsha is somebody I'm surprised that I didn't send her one, because Marsha was somebody that I always had conversations with online. And that makes me realize that I need to pick that up. Like me and her would talk, through Instagram, through the messenger. And I haven't seen her. I'm sure that she's online, but you know how the algorithm switches, like who you see a whole bunch. Like actually, I haven't even seen Nicole Greco-Pepis on my feed in a while. So obviously the algorithm has changed. I've been on for business reasons. Oh, good. I'm gaining some followers, and I'll tell you what, Rebecca got a huge amount of views last week on her episode podcast. We got 3,000 views. But anyway, I haven't seen Marsha on my feed, and yes, she's on there, and so is Nicole, but the algorithm switches up. So sometimes, I don't see somebody online for a little while. So I've lost touch. I've got to get her back on my algorithm and feed. But I don't really have anything else to really talk about today, except I just want to pat us on the back, pat all our followers and people that have supported us in the last year. Thank you so very much. The Sizzle Show has definitely been a positive addition to my life. I really like it. It's a cool
Well, you've done an excellent job, Karen.
It's a good outlet. It gives us a chance to get on and just shoot the you know what and just let our hair hang out, say what we want.
It's a mental workout itself. You're working out your brain.
Yes. And it does. I've learned a lot technically with this podcast because I had to upload things. I've had to deal with Apple and Spotify and, all the different I don't have to tell you, Steve, that go along with this. And I've really, really enjoyed that. Anytime that I'm learning new things, I love that. And anybody that knows me probably has figured that out about me. If I have mistakenly left anybody out, please accept my apology now. I don't think I have.
I think you got everybody.
I think I got everybody. And like I said, this email, it wasn't like it was that kind of a last minute thing. So I will try and follow up on any of the gals that I missed just to make sure that they know I said thank you. And what great advice I've gotten in these, really things to ponder. This was a good podcast because we had so many contributors. All these guests are really quality trainers or whatever they brought to the table here. They might not all be trainers, but whatever they came on this podcast for, they definitely brought good information, solid information, and great support. Sometimes people just want to, the postpartum depression is what I'm thinking of. That's something where people just don't want to feel alone. We talked about addiction, recovery, postpartum depression. We've talked about really fun things too. So this podcast definitely isn't afraid to go weave around and go into different subjects. Some of the subjects are uncomfortable. I can tell you for 2026, some of the things that I'm looking to get into. I want to look into the transgender things, looking into sports in the future and what is going to happen with that, and talk to some coaches in that realm. Are they going to start to get their own space in the fitness world, because it's an uncomfortable subject right now with coming into female sports and stuff like that. So that's a subject I want to get into. I mentioned Zumba earlier. I want to talk to some Zumba instructors. Zumba has been something that has held its own. It might not, it has held its own as a trend. It might not be in the forefront, but it was a trend some years back and it's still going. So I wouldn't mind, diving into that. So some of the guests, some weeks it'll be really, really serious and some weeks it'll be fun. But I hope that and anybody have any ideas, please reach out and let me know. Or want to get something off your chest, please feel safe and know that you can get in contact with me any way and make suggestions. But with that, I'm going to close out the Sizzle show after 1 year. I think we're episode 46 or something like that.
Oh, wow. Impressive.
Well, actually, we have more episodes than that. We only missed a couple of weeks, but
oh yeah, it should be more than 46.
That's how many I've uploaded. I didn't upload all of them.
Oh, cheers to year number 2 coming up.
Yeah. Cheers, Steve. Thanks so much.
All right, good job, Sizzle.
Oh, what a night.